the ability to understand, control, and love what it is that's different. And in the ring, time slows down. So everybody sees it fast and chaotic. But for me, it's a slow down.
Let's
It's
go.
fight camp, man. Yeah.
Let's go, baby. I'm excited for you, man. You got another massive spot here. I feel like they've been kind of putting you in big fights kind of since your debut. You know what I mean? You put on a show your debut, 2020, first couple of fights, and then from there it was just, you know, every time it's a next level fight. You made your way to a main event, your third
Former,
fight.
I've never not thought of top five. Former champion, previous champion, future champion, fighting for a title. Everybody I've fought has been the best, but that's what I've always wanted to do. I like to fight exciting fights, and it sucks for me to know I'm going to go into a fight and win because at the gym, there's guys that are really good that I'm just older, more wise, and I can just tear their ass up, pick them apart. And then I got guys that are considered some of the most dangerous guys in the world, and it gives people a chance to support somebody that they've loved that's really good, and then me to go in there and be who I am and put on a war and make them both sides love each other. And that's kind of how I've been with throughout all my fights. I get more excited. It feels like a proper sacrifice to spend time away from my family to fight Mike Richman, former 185 champion. Fought Lorenzo Hunt, dropped Lorenzo Hunt before he got slept. I mean, I'm a savage. I've went and I've wanted just legendary big name fights. I've wanted that red penny Conor McGregor payday. I mean, I ain't quite got it. I'm doing really, really good compared to some. You know, we can't talk about that too much, but man, I want fights that could possibly take me out or make me live. And so far I've lived through them. So
Yeah, you have. This is another big fight. Yeah, Mike Richmond, it's another huge name. Where would you compare that? You know what I mean? This I know it's not a main event. I think on any other card it probably is a main event, but the Knuckle Mania cards, like this card's stacked top to bottom. This
every
has
card's
been
a main event on Knucklemania. That's the point of pay-per-view. I think like you can't just like you got to have a main event that anybody could be a main event on any card, the home card, away card, a Dubai card. But Knucklemania is a main event of main events. And yeah, I'm just glad to be on there. And with all the names that are on there, all the champions, former champions, just some of the best, most exciting fighters we got, I get to be on there. So when I get the fight of the night or knockout of the night, it's an even bigger honor amongst stars. And that's where the opportunities are made. You know what I mean? There's going to be some of the most eyes on this event every year. Philly, from what Dave was saying, is it's going to set another record, which was set the last time it was in Philly for the most in attendance for a professional fight venue ever. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I get to put my name on that and be attached to another great event.
Yeah, well, congratulations, brother. Because yeah, that was a huge announcement. You know, you guys got into the scuffle in the crowd in Hollywood, Florida there. So I feel like the fight's been it's brewing up. People are starting to talk about it. We're looking forward to seeing it. But let's go back because you came from an MMA background, right? You still kind of mix it up with BJJ a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I got a black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. I've done trained 21 years. I wrestled, and I mean, in high school, I graduated 2000, but I went to the Dan Gable combat camp. It was Dan Gable, Dave Zaleski actually was the coach back then. It was the Dan Gable, Dave Zaleski, and so I grew up wrestling. He just became something I did. I also boxed, dude. I fought and boxed and did gold gloves back in like '97, and I used to go around do the FX Tough Man contest, underground stuff, and then I finally took myself serious about 27, moved off to Florida, started training down in the Panhandle, and yeah, man, I was a good grappler my whole career. Like just man, I fought in some no gi world champion submit. I won worlds 2013 as a purple belt. 3 days after I got my purple belt, but when I fight MMA, it's like Justin Gagey. He could grapple, he could wrestle, but what did he do? Stayed on his feet to bang. So I was just fell in love with it. And I think it's because I grew up in the country fighting and my parents sent me to different martial arts and things because my ADHD, my hyperactivity to kind of control the outburst of my energy in the fights that I was getting into. So bare knuckles kind of like, it reminds me of what made me love the martial arts, except for I carry the respect I've learned in martial arts, the talent and the skill I've carried. And now it's bare knuckle. We go out there, we beat each other up. We're going for the knockouts, precision, accuracy, styles, and you see a big blend of it. And Yeah, it makes it what I love again in bare knuckle. So I still love MMA, but man, pro wise, bare knuckle is just built for me. A thick head,
Yeah,
no neck.
I hear you, man. Bare
Hard to
knuckles
knock
where it's
out.
at. And I've been following bare knuckle since day one. And you're one of those old school guys. You know, you made your debut on BKFC 11. Big win over Will the Kill Chope there. Big knockout statement. What have you noticed in the BKFC since then in terms of just growth? Because that was
Just
BKFC 11.
growth,
Now we're
growth,
coming on.
growth, 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 growth. It's been amazing. It's hard to sit back and not fight anything but big fights, but it's also an honor to have to be a main event or a co-main event and to be blended in at least once or twice a year. A lot of guys want to complain, oh, I don't fight but this often, but we get big fights and we have chances to. When you're a star, it's just hard sometimes. You can't just have a knuckle mania every single time. You have to do what's good for the growth of the company and be a part of it. And yeah, man, it's all part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like I said, even with Mike Perry coming over, you saw the changes with that and the eyes that he brought, and then even the Conor McGregor. So like the expansion has just been, you know what I mean, and it's getting like worldwide attention now.
Yeah, I mean, from 10 states to 60 countries and 35 states or whatever. I'm not quoting exact targets, but yeah, from nothing to something. And like I was telling somebody the other day, on BKFC, was it 10 or was it 11? I don't know. I thought it was 10. Anyway, but when I remember me and Will Choke fought, it was people don't know this, I don't know statistically, but it was the very first professional televised slash on app any sport before BKFC, football, anything that came back. And it was allowed to happen. We
Oh
sanctioned it
yeah,
down in Mississippi. And we fought in like a closed off, it was like a rodeo barn, and everybody had to sit, like even my grandma and my dad, I had to get them tickets, but they were I think 4 seats or 5 seats apart, wearing masks. I found my mask the other day that I wore coming out for that, right? And it's just like, wow, I was just glad to be out of the house. Me and my friends were training on top of a mountain. Our coach at GB gave us a bunch of the thick puzzle mats so we could all have like 10 puzzle mats each, and we could bring them together. 3 or 4 black belts could bring them together because the black belts were allowed to have them and take them home, so we could all train, have people come over without the ability to go to the gym. And then that was the first thing that come back, and it was just so great to be a part of it. It got me excited again after all that downtime, and it gave me a chance to be like I always said back then, like Chuck. We always remember Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell and some of the guys around in between BKFC 1 and BKFC 10. Look at Mark Coleman, just Jens Pulver, just so, like those guys. No matter what, you'll always remember their fights, and I get to be a part of the 10. And now I'm here at one of the biggest cards, and with the growth of dude, there ain't no rodeo, and there ain't no COVID left no more, and there ain't no 6 feet apart, 6 seats apart. It's sold out $1,000 seats, and it's just it's God, dude, it's so be beautiful to be a part of that, I'm a staple. I was the one. My face with Tom Shoaf was the one getting exploded. They didn't have a picture they used, and they still use it when you go to Fubo TV to watch it. It's still that Tom Shoaf picture of my face. It was in Forbes magazine. I've got it on my wall. Like, hey, I wasn't in Forbes, but my picture was. Maybe, one day. So, yeah, lots of dreams and life changing things have happened with BKFC, and it's just I'm so happy to see so many others, so many different superstars out there now. It's unbelievable. Homegrown and guys that were stars other places that have found a home here that are more
Mm,
suited. And I mean, look at Andre Arlovsky, dude. I remember watching his tape from like Pride. That was me and my boy. He named his firstborn kid Vandalay, okay, because he was such a Vandalay Silva fan. And I remember watching him in the living room.
crazy.
I'm going to be on Knucklemania with him fighting for the 1 and 2 or 3-0. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's fucking nostalgic and cool.
Yeah, unreal journey. And yeah, that debut, that Will Chope, he fought Max Holloway in the UFC before too.
Yeah, like 2 fights before he fought me, he fought Max Holloway, went all the way. I played video games with Max. Well, did not in the last like 2 years, but during COVID, we played video games together a lot. We talked about that. It was like, it's wild. It's like, hey, I finished in first round. No, but I don't think anybody had ever finished him on like 119 fights in the first. He had never been finished inside the first
Yeah.
round till then. But I told my wife during the pandemic, whenever they shut the gym down, believe it or not, I fell back in love with martial arts in a way that I could train in my garage or the front street. Back in the 80s, we'd shoot basketball as kids. And when the cars would come, we'd have to get out of the way and wave at the lady as she went home. And I did that during the pandemic here at the house. If fighters come over my house, and we'd be sparring in the middle of the street around the little curve, waving at people. And then old ladies would get used to knowing who we were. And kids would come over and want to do hand pads. And it becomes something I loved again. So when I fought Will, I knew I was getting brought in because he was like the BKB champ. He won the 170 title or something before he came over here also. And they were getting me to fight him at 175. And at the time I'd been fighting MMA at 150, but I got a little COVID comfortable. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. We'll do 175, come in. And I got underpaid. And again, I'm not going to say that it was what we could all do at the time, but still I was like, but if I do this, I looked at Dave, I told Dave, the owner at the time when it was a little smaller, I was like, man, you got to take care of me. And he has, man, so much. And I'm so glad I sacrificed for that moment. And yeah, that sound went viral. I went viral, and again, I was always Joe Elmore on the local scene. Everybody always knew who I was. People were like, damn, okay, so when he actually focuses and trains, this is what happens. And I've just gotten better and better and better and better. My style has adapted to bare knuckles so much since then too. It's been awesome.
Yeah, no, that Chope definitely had a lot of hype coming into that fight. I feel like you stole the shine with that. And then you mentioned the Tom Schoaf. That fight was unreal, an absolute war. And then he was in your opponent's corner the next fight against Garcia.
Leonard Garcia, yeah.
Yeah.
People try mental games against me, but you can't threaten me with danger. That's a sex addict having a nympho wife. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to fuck the shit out of you when you get home. And I'm like, oh, you're going to punch me in my face? That's like, ooh, dad, yeah. Ooh, give me that shit, boy. Violence, adrenaline. Because I jump out of airplanes. I ride motorcycles. I jump hills. Danger is something that can make you fear, or you can take control of something that people are afraid of. And always in life, whether it's what I went through as a kid and grew up, and life was a lot harder than any fight I've ever been in. And some people can understand that. Some people don't have to experience that. They can just enjoy that through my fights. But life was so hard that fighting gives me, it's like getting in a F-14, F-16 and knowing how to fucking fly it. Tom Cruise gets in there and he does his own stunts. I would have to. I want to feel what it feels like to be afraid and then take control of that fear and let it become a superpower. And that's what fighting is. It's like the face of danger makes me happy. So I can actually truly love getting punched in the face and love punching back. Sometimes I don't wake up till I feel someone, I tell them at the gym, they laugh because I'll knock guys out and like, shit, I'm so sorry. And they hit me with a thing and I do like a stanky leg dance. And then I go, I hear this. And then I tune in to whatever else is inside his body that makes me run differently than humans. And it's like, da, 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 da. And time slows down and I wake up where people go to sleep. And I think that's what another superpower I got. And guys hit me. And there's like this button of adrenaline goes and my body catches on fire. And instead of getting knocked out, that when I hear that bell, I tune in. And that's why Tom was catching me. But every once in a while, he'd catch me and I'd feel really, really like, God, he's finna stop this fight. And I'd hear, and I just go, and then it allows me to. If a guy's not dangerous, it doesn't happen. And again, that's relate to my last fight. I'm going to skip forward because of that. I'm going to go back to more my Tom Schoaf style, but with the head movement, the counter abilities, the footwork, and the things that I've been focusing on that only relate to BJJ, not having to focus on takedowns or knees and the things I'd trained 20 years for. Now it's been 5 years of nothing but boxing and bare knuckle style boxing. And so I'm going back to that Tom Schoaf fight style and with a little bit talent and skill and size, because we're going at 175 now. If y'all notice, some get the steak thick, don't got to cut weight. I can come home and eat good after training, and yeah, it's a lot different.
So do you think that's where you want to stay, or did you just settle at 175 for Richmond so he doesn't have to drop as much?
I thought it was going to be 165, but honestly, I don't have to cut weight now. Last time I weighed in, I had my Hitman 187 chain on and a half of a cup of cold brew coffee just to show people how easily I had made weight, because I had struggled earlier. In the beginning, like I said, I was COVID comfortable, but I stay in shape. I eat better. I don't really drink alcohol except for super special occasions and barely at all anymore. Maybe 10 drinks in like last 15 years or 10 days that I've drank in the last 3 years. 15 months is what I meant. But anyway, so I was like, it's just, I'm living a champion lifestyle even when I don't fight for a year. Yeah, man. So I was a little more on the thicker side. I wasn't training because of the holidays. And I guess it's just easier for me to carry this 10 pounds if, I'm still cutting about 10. But yeah, dude, I won't bleed. My blood won't get thin. I'll be able to eat lots of double up on my meals of protein. So when I'm training and having to allow myself to cut weight, you're either cutting weight with some kind of the metabolic cutting the weight, or it's healing the body. So now I'm going to let my body heal better by eating the right nutrients and macros. And I got a dietitian and nutritionist in the next 3 weeks. Just you know how that goes.
Right on, man. Yeah, because there's the title fights this weekend, tomorrow, right? For 165. So I didn't know if you were watching that closely because past opponent and Dustin Peg going up against Julian Lane. I was interested what you thought about that fight, how you thought that might play out.
It's a very good even fight. Julian Lane has been training his ass off. I've followed his journey since he left the BKFC and came back after winning like 3 or 4 in a row. I think he's won 4 in a row now, including the title fight after his father passed away. And just the story is really beautiful. Me and Dustin are good friends. Me and him became friends in South Carolina before we ever fought. And I really didn't want to fight Dustin, but it made the most sense for him to be on the title track and me to be who I am. It's hard for me to fight anybody that ain't a top 10 in the world. It would make sense because it'd honestly be an easy fight. I'm gonna knock him out. And yeah, so I'm proud of Dustin. I love him, and because of our friendship, I would shift to him. But I love me and Julian have been confused because of our tattoos so many times. And yeah, I'm excited for the fight. But go Dustin because he's my true friend. And yeah, it's plus I fought him. The guy beat me by split decision, and when he wins the title, it just reminds people that I still ain't ever been taken down by any of the best out there. We'll have to see.
That's
Yeah,
right.
165, 175. The answer to that too, by the way. I'll fight anybody. Like I said, Mike was the 185 champion. I don't think I'll fight Mundell at 175 if I knock him out. Right? Say I knock out Mike Richmond. That's going to remind everybody real quick. Mike Richmond is an animal, and if I knock him out and I win that fight, why not let me do that and prove it? I'll fight another fight if they need me to build a record back. But I'm healthy. And that's what I want. I want to fight for King of Islands. I don't care if it's even for a title, to be honest. I don't chase awards or symbols. I chase wars. And I'll fight like Max Holloway, Justin Gagey up a weight class, down a weight class to make it exciting and unbelievable and create a story that doesn't require a shiny trinket.
Yeah,
I don't
you're battle
just
tested,
want.
man, and
Yeah, I love it.
nobody's putting you away. These are unanimous decisions or sorry, split decisions going the distance each time. You and Dustin, yeah, you guys had a lot of mutual respect in that fight. You could tell. And your hand seemed like you compromise your hand in the second round, and you were still able to make it the
Well,
distance.
so listen, I fought Leonard Garcia. True story, okay? No excuses. I had 3 days before I fought Leonard Garcia. All right, I had a 100% tear in my left subscap. Wow, dude, I couldn't hardly like lift the remote. I had to go get lidocaine injected into the nerve in my subscapula so I couldn't feel the pain as it tore. That's why I started learning to get that Philly shell so well, and that's why I've adapted to right, because dude, I had to coach people. I kept it off the internet, but I had a sling on after that fight. I had to get full surgery and get my bicep head tendon screwed into my chest and get my subscap re-sewed up. So I went out there and fought one hand the whole fight against him, and then broke my hand in the third round and fought the fourth and fifth with a torn shoulder and a broke hand, and nobody knew that shit when I fought Leonard, bro. So that's why I don't want to hear shit from nobody. I called Dave and I was like, bro, this fight ain't gonna happen in Mississippi. I'd sold like $25,000 worth of tickets. My family was flying in. I was like, I'm gonna get some lidocaine injected in my shoulder. I'm gonna be able to pass physicals. That shit was hurting. I mean, even though I was numb, but I was like, Bisbee, don't notice my eyes missing. And I held my hands up and I fought that fight. And I just say this to people because they have no clue, and I don't cry, and that's not an excuse. I still showed up. I thought he might have had the flu. We might have had COVID. Wah, wah, wah. We all have shit that goes wrong. And if I'm unable to perform, I won't. But I called in some guys from Detroit, from Kronk Boxing, in the last 3 days, I think it was 5 days before, but the last 3 days before I had to fly out to go cut weight. So 5 days previously, truly 3 days, I called in a dude from Detroit, had two people come in. They stayed with me. We put out those puzzle mats that I was telling you about earlier, and we boxed, and I learned to go with a smack jab. Like, that's why I kept throwing the jab like this.
Yeah.
And if you notice, everything was
Yeah, I
coming from
did. I
here.
did notice that you were
That's
sticking
why I
that
was
out there
having to
like
do.
that in that
That's why I
fight.
was having to do this and this because I couldn't throw from here, so I was having to throw from. But man,
Yeah.
I learned to throw from that hip, and I was like, damn, if I could do this with one hand. But yeah, in the third round against Dustin, before the fight, I had knocked out one of my training partners. I didn't wrap my hands. I was using 8-ounce gloves, and we were going very light. But I caught him with a counter left, and it hit him here, but it kind of jarred his neck because he was going for a fake shot, just being silly. And I timed it thinking he was going to throw a body shot, and my knuckle was already swole up to where I couldn't close my hand. So after about the third round against Dustin, it wasn't a break. It was just inflammation in that knuckle, like if you jam it playing football or something. When I threw that left hook during training camp, but it became hard to throw the jab, so I was having to double up on my right. But again, no excuses. Dustin was just, we were such a 50-50 fight. He's so fast and so talented. It was an equal match, and whoever was able to perform better in that moment, because here's what I know about that. He had a hurt shoulder the same way I did because he had to have the same surgery I had. So he fought me like I fought Leonard. Who was hurt more? His shoulder, my hand. So
Yeah.
we were in there doing what we did, and the judges saw it the way they saw it. If I'd have finished it, then I could have made excuses if they'd have disqualified me after I knocked them out. But until then, they ain't stealing nothing. It just happens.
Well, tough customers, both you and Dustin, for sure. So what drew you over to bare knuckle? Like from MMA? Like how did you catch wind of the BKFC and how did you initially end up coming over here?
So I've known a Dean Toole and Nate Shook. He used to matchmake for him a long time. I fought Devin Adams back in Montgomery, Alabama, like 24 years ago before he was a matchmaker for Dean. So I've always known all the guys from the South, the Panhandle. I fought a couple Danny Ruiz's guys, the Emerald Coast guys. So through that kind of little network, my boy actually, Rusty, fought in the first lightweight 145 tournament. And Rusty Crowder, Rowdy Rusty, he fought. I think he fought. Yeah, was it the maybe on the first on one? And I saw him fighting. So through that, I was like, man, you got to get me on here. And he's like, hit up Nate. He match makes for them. And I was like, really? He match makes for them too? And I'd begged to get on, but I couldn't make 145. I was making 55 barely at that point once I got a little bit later in my MMA career. And I was like, no, bare knuckle, no way. And I was like, just let me know when you have this come up, this come up. And when the pandemic hit and Will Chope came over here, they were having trouble finding anybody that would fight him for what they were going to be able to afford during a pandemic fight, right? Like, so they were like, if you'll do it for this, you could take it. And I was like, Will Chope, I should be getting whatever, but man, I just saw opportunity. And to be honest, I had done some meditation and praying, and I had this weird connection to the universe. And God had told me through some martial arts that He would protect me. And some people don't believe in it, but I really truly saw it in a vision during the pandemic to be okay, to have faith, know that everything would be okay, and He'd provide an opportunity that would seem like war, but would provide peace in my life. And how could it not be that moment? And I was like, okay, so God's giving me a chance to take less than I'm worth, but prove to the world and make them need me. And yeah, David saw something in me. I remember after I beat Will, the production, I love Evan and all these guys, man. But one of them come running up to me, and I was like, "This is mine." That was natural. I didn't plan nothing. I didn't know. I saw Chris Sorrows say, "Get up, get up." He wanted this guy to get up. I was hurting him so bad after that first punch. I was like, "Damn!" I just cracked his whole face. He did not want to get up the first time. And then I went back over there, threw that switch, got inside, landed that uppercut, and I could feel it in my toes come off his face, and he hit the ground, and that's why I was like, "Stay down."
Yeah.
Because I don't want to murder you, but if you get back up, I need this like life right now. You're stealing my life from me. My wife had grabbed me by the back of the throat before we come out, and she said, "Baby, just think about this. If a man were to catch me in an alley and you were to walk out in that alley and he were trying to take me and take advantage of me," but she said some deeper words. I'm not going to say it, but she was like, "What would you do to him?" And I was like, "I'd kill him." And she's like, "Well, he's trying to take everything from you. You've been in a pandemic. We've suffered so much. This is your moment. What are you going to do? He's trying to take everything from you." And that's why I keep her in my corner. The power of having the person that I love the most in my corner and being able to protect her. And I remember looking at him just thinking, you want her? You want to fuck her? You want to? I was in my head. I was like, this guy was in trouble. So I remember snapping out and realizing at this moment now, the psycho has just like, he's laying down, wiping his face, looking at me like this, and I'm just like, whoop. And they didn't show it, and I was pissed because it kind of made me go viral too because they thought I was like, they're like, dude, how much juice and fucking coke and crack and meth and whatever else. Like, he shot meth in his eyeball. That was the funniest comment. That dude actually made my logo. We became friends. But anyway, they didn't show me stop and go, oh my God, oh God. And I fell down on the ground. I crawled on my knees and I crawled over to him and hugged him and prayed with him for a second. Said, I love you. Thank you for this moment. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be like that. And he's like, no, you earned it. You deserved it. And I was like, that was just passion, bro. I was like, those moments when fighters, we sit back and we train so hard, we question, are we going to keep doing this? How long am I going to do this? Am I getting what I'm worth? Is this helping my family? Am I taking time from my family? And then you just have a moment of clarity and just a lot comes out and a lot of passion and a lot of things. And that's one of the things we had to harness too, man, and take that energy and just, yeah, it's led me where I am now. So Knucklemania 6, February 7th.
Amen, brother. I'm definitely a believer. But I noticed that a lot of the BKFC fighters have faith in God, Jesus Christ. You said you crawled over, shared a prayer, even in the Dustin Peg fight at the end, you guys got down. I was going to ask you too, like, what was said between the two of you during that moment?
I love you. We were truly friends. I still check on him, and I want to go stay down there. And we left the fight and went to the hotel and literally ate bacon. We didn't go to sleep. We sit in there. We cracked a few beers because that's one of the nights I always drink. Is when after the fight with the celebration, I want to drink with the guy, meet his family, understand him, tell his wife I didn't hate him, and my wife can then love him and be friends with him. And she loves my wife is a huge fan of his. We support him. She's betting all her money on him, and like she just like it's people that have respect. He's a good father. He's a good man, and that's what I have respect. I get to know these guys, so I want to murder them before the fight. But this is for y'all. This is for entertainment. It's not fake. I'm not Jake Paul. I'm a true martial arts maniac. And sometimes I have to fight my friends because I've become brothers with warriors. It's not anything I have against them. I love them because I wouldn't be able to have a main event if it wasn't for a psycho like Mike Richmond willing to fight a psycho like Hitman 187. I don't have anything against him other than the fact that he's trying to take my rankings. He's trying to beat my ass to prove that he's better than me and he's the legacy, and I'm trying to prove to him that I'm underestimated, and I'm gonna fuck you up. But I'm also a fan of what you've done for my country, of what you've done in the ring, of how many big of balls you got to fight guys like Josh Dyer and this, and like, how can I not love and respect that? Because that's my balls too. I'll fight 145 to 185 and whatever the hell you want me to do, if I can do it and it makes sense, and I'm doing it. Money, if the money makes sense.
Let's
Everything
go.
else, I'll just do it. Yeah, you give me that money, and there ain't nothing. I ain't fighting, dude. Ain't
Well,
man.
BK,
It's me and God. What are you gonna do? Kill me? No, no. We both gonna get fucked up. I might lose, but you ain't. Yeah, that's it. That's all I learned.
so do you get nervous at all before any of these fights? Like the night of the fight on
I'm nervous
walkout,
talking to
anything?
you right now, but it's I mean, adrenaline is like water or air for me. I'm ADHD and my brain works so fucking fast that nobody could understand what it's like to live in a brain when you're out of control. But it's becoming the ability to understand, control, and love what it is that's different. And in the ring, time slows down. So everybody sees it fast and chaotic. But for me, it's a slow dance when the world moves at my pace for one fucking time. When I jump out of that airplane, I don't fall, I float. And I can see the trees and I can see how little the world is, how small the cars is. And when I get back on the ground and I'm thankful for the grass, I'm thankful to walk, I'm thankful for water, I'm thankful that it's not as big as we think we are. So even a big problem is nothing as compared to everybody else in the world and everything when you look at it from the further distance. And that's what fighting is. It puts it in perspective and it allows me to have a legendary momentary moment to do something. But then I go back to being this normal. I'm Joe. I play video games online, and we're all the same. We if our dog dies, we cry. If our breakups hurt, and Love is dangerous and wonderful at the same time. And yeah, man, I like to live to the fullest and not hurt anybody and provide more while living grand than anything else.
Man, brother. Yeah, we haven't seen you in a little bit, right? You had a year off, so it gave you some time to maybe do some of these extra things. But it definitely seems like you have a real one in your wife because she is always in your corner. You can always hear her yelling, and yeah, that pep talk that's definitely got to put you in the right mind state. So I wonder what she's got in store for Richmond because that's gonna be
He
an all out.
studies, man. She studies. She makes sure that I'm not stressing anything other than being on time and confusing this and the thing. She sets alarms for me. She makes sure that I get things done and the days don't get confused, especially as it gets closer. Everything's packed. All the things, all the phone calls, all the emails, all the notes. She's my manager, the corner. She really enjoys it. She loves it. Her grandfather and grandmother, they both passed away last year, but dude, they were at the aftercare center, a really nice retirement home, and they would have like BKFC watch parties to make sure they'd have that shit set up for 90, 97, and 94 years old. So her family, her dad, her mom, they all support it. They love it. She gets to be a huge part of it, and I trust her more than anything. And when you're in a fight camp and those are the things, knowing you've got this, knowing that you're on time, knowing that you're not frowned upon, and that everything outside that moment in that ring, the diets, the sponsorships, the everything's answered, and I don't have to do nothing but show up and fight. It makes it a lot easier. So I get in there, and it's like she's fighting with me. I got my corner in there, and they're seeing everything, reminding me of what I've already trained so hard to do, and yeah, it makes it easy. And plus, I got really good coaches that come, and sometimes I can't hear my coaches because they talk like this. You see all our voices from screaming at the gym, and all of us start sounding alike after like 20 years of this shit. So I can hear my wife over everybody bitching, complaining, laughing, whatever. So my coach will say stuff sometimes, and I can't hear nobody but her go, he said da 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 da, but I hear every damn word she says through the whole crowd. Y'all can too. You hear her on TV. I'm like, damn, everybody can hear her. That's a different pitch than you're used to on the corner.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure. She sounds like your biggest supporter though. But also you
Yeah.
got Ace Samples in your corner a lot. I seen even when I saw you in Hollywood, you guys were together.
Yeah, he's out here in Athens, Georgia. He's my country brother.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about your relationship with him. It seems like you guys are pretty tight.
Yeah, man, it's like a brotherhood, dude. He just is a person. No matter if he's got it, everybody else has got it. He's one of the. He loves the kids he coaches more than he loves himself, and he's just a good man. I love other good men, even if they don't have the best circumstances in life. And me and what we've had and what we haven't had together as friendships over the last 15 years is just been a brotherhood. I don't judge him. He don't judge me. We tell each other real advice. He's just somebody I can trust around my dogs, my wife, and my kids. And yeah, so if he needs me in his corner, I'm there. If I ever need him, I'm there. I go to his gym. We just, yeah, we're brothers, man. He's just a good damn human and a great guy. And when I'm in there, his coaching ability reminds me of Greg Jackson. It's just the ability to see things in a moment for the person he cares about. He truly cares about his students. And even if it's an older or younger, a child, he sees that in all of us, right? The spirit, which is the child of the fighter. And I'll say, yes, sir. Like I had some other kids that he was coaching in there, his son and another Muay Thai champion he's training right now, Hogan. They were like, the next day, they were like, why does he say yes, sir? Because when he says something, I had these boxers Warriors of God come in. I'm going to stay with them next week, go to Seneca and stay with those guys because they got a really, really good guy. This kid hadn't been beat since he was 11 years old after sparring with him at my least of my cardio. Well, I found out why he hadn't been beat. He's 24 years old now. And I'm going to go out there with him and I'm going to train. But the next day, every time Coach Ace was saying something while I was in here sparring him, getting my movement and my footwork back, every round he would say, do this, do that. And I'm like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm older than Ace, not by much, but I'm still older. And the kids would be like, why does he say yes, sir to everybody? Why does he say that when every time you do it? And I was like, well, it's because there's respect. He needs to know I trust him because no matter what I know and what I'm doing, he's seeing something I'm not. And that's part of being able to learn no matter how much I know. So I just love the fact that I can trust him like that because, again, when he's in my corner, no matter what he's got going on in his head, if I tell him that man trusts what I'm saying because I'm giving him advice and I tell him, make your own decisions. I'm not you in there, but I know he knows. And I feel the same way. So when I have him and my wife in my corner, just the things we've been through, bro, having that trust system in there is awesome. Yeah, my brother.
Yeah, he definitely seems like a stand-up guy and insightful corner work for sure. I noticed him in there, seeing those
He's
things you're
good.
not seeing while it's happening, right? So shout
Yep,
out to
he's real
Ace.
good at that.
He seems like he knows what he's doing in there. But anyway, like I said, you're battle tested. You went to the distance with Tierney as well. And then I want to say, man, your fight in Atlanta against Finley, like I feel like you guys kind of got fucked there, bro. I feel like that was
Oh no,
your fight.
I got fucked. No lube.
I
Nobody
feel like
pulled my hair because I
I
ain't
feel like
got
for
none.
sure you won
I didn't get a
rounds
reach
one,
around to
two,
smile.
four,
Nobody
and
handed me no
maybe
money.
yeah, maybe even five, even an argument for the fifth. So like I was disappointed with that decision, and it was in Atlanta in your hometown. That fucking sucks. That's part of the game, right? Bad decisions when it goes to the distance. But yeah, I felt like you got done dirty on that one, brother.
I do too, man. But I don't know if it's. I always say the devil only comes after those that are anointed, and I'm not
Mhm.
supposed. I wasn't supposed to beat Will Chope. I wasn't supposed to sit Tom Schoaf down. I'm not saying that that wasn't meant to be, but I wasn't what they were expecting. I never have been. I've never known what I was going to be. I've had the blessing, and I used to think my wife was a first grade teacher of the year, nominated 4 or 5 times. She's just a wonderful teacher, wonderful human being as well. That's why we make such a great team. She always tell me the only thing about a disability you got to do is take the dis out and it becomes an ability, right? So that's what I was saying to you earlier. It's become like a superpower once I become focused and not being believed in for me. Not being the underdog is so much easier. Going into Atlanta fight, everybody loved me. I sold the most tickets. But it was a lot of responsibility. I even gave the other fighters their tickets, picked them up, delivered them, mailed them, sent them. Got put like hundreds of my own money into doing it for them for the BKFC pay me back later. But like, so there's a lot of extra pressure in the being loved the most. And I now understand. And that's why I say, I don't care if you love me or hate me, just love me or hate me. And not being cared about and loved or hated would be the worst. If you want me to lose, cheer for the other guy because there's no fight. And the more you cheer for him, the more fans that want to see him beat me, the more opportunity I have to prove them all wrong and create these own opportunities myself. And I believe that when that dark side hits you, I'm like, put another plate on. And it might hurt and I might cry, but guess what? I'm getting stronger. You can't get stronger if you're always winning. If you're always taking weight off. I lifted 100 pounds. Well, I lifted 10,000 pounds. What if I lifted 1,000 pounds 10 times and you lifted 100? We both lifted 10,000 pounds, but look how much harder you had to work and how much more impossible that 10. More people are going to be like, damn, you lifted 10,000 pounds with 10 lifts than 100. And I'm just like, I feel like that's what that was the universe doing because it's unexplainable. I definitely won 4 rounds and that's what I've learned from it. And that's what it's reminded me. I remember I told you earlier also linked to this. I'm going to go back to what I did with Tom Schoaf. I would look up and I'd say, God, thank you for this opportunity in this moment. I don't care what happens. I'm going out here and giving it everything I got. By the time I got to that fight in Atlanta, I got so good at my head movement and different things. And people were like, oh, you get cut, you do this. And it's because I didn't get hurt. So I would sacrifice my face. I would go in and I was landing punches that I could guarantee a knockdown against a guy. Even if he hit me, I don't get knocked down. That was a sacrifice I was making. But in bare knuckle, I got a thick skull, so my skin just goes poof, and it splits. And to them, that could be a loss over something so petty as to that. So I started swapping my style up, and I was winning. And my mistake in Atlanta was thinking I was winning. Whenever in that second round, when he went back to his corner and was like, "Start your bump my nose," and I was instead of smiling and waving like this and going, I got this, and I thought I was dancing on him. I thought I was like Ryan Garcia out there.
Yeah.
I felt too comfortable. I could have finished him. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you about why, who, what decision. But I also wouldn't have grew from that to go, okay, if you're winning, just win. Don't let ego. Don't prove to nobody. You ain't got to prove to nobody. They're going to love you or hate you. Let them love you or hate you. Don't do anything for them. You're doing it for them for doing it for yourself. And me being great and doing what people hate or love, they're going to love me or hate me anyway. They're going to feel something. Don't make them feel shit. Just be me. Do what I do. Stay focused and not be distracted by being the hometown guy. Yeah, so none of that shit this time. It's Knucklemania. I'm so proud. He's a champion. I'm not shit. Come get me. Let's see. I'm not shit. I'm supposed to lose. Fuck you. Let's go. I don't give a fuck. All I can do is surprise people and win this time.
Well, you know what? Like I said, both of you guys battle tested. His last fight, that was a doctor stoppage, and that was no little cut either. That was an absolute fucking war. We haven't seen him since then, right? He looks like he's healed up pretty good though. So I don't know. Do you think that's going to be a factor in this fight?
It is for both of us. Yeah, we're both going to be able to put on a dogfight. It's going to suck because I think we're both going to be pretty fucked up. No matter what happens this fight, he's not going down without a fight, and neither am I. And we're both really, with time off, your body can heal. You can get healthy. My bones get thicker. We're both career martial artists that probably train our whole lives, even when we got other things and coaching kids and doing what we're doing in life. I live at the gym too. That's like my friends, if they come in town, I want them to go to the gym. They want to see me train. I want to so I believe this is going to be an opportunity for both of us to come in here and just put on a damn good fight that doesn't matter that they're going to want to bonus us for. And we put on a fight in the night and rip it apart.
Let's go. So am I going to be hearing the Joe show when you're coming down that catwalk? Welcome to the Joe show. Yeah, he's your boy.
Yeah. I met him when I was an amateur in Alabama. They were actually raising money to bail one of his artists out on some child support stuff. They had to catch up his child support
Okay, brother.
again. So anyway, he was in there, and the way they were raising the money was selling $10 CDs at the barber shop. And at that time, I had the Chuck Liddell Mohawk in my barber in Montgomery, Alabama. He could put spider webs and a tarantula, and then he put like highlights on it. So when I'd show up to the thing, I always put on the show. That's why people at the place, the Hitman 187 came through, because they say it was Joe the Hitman, and then the 187 was added by my tattoo artist early in the career because that's murder in progress. A 187 in progress, murder in progress. So they said, God, it's like a murder. When he fights, it doesn't matter. It's like somebody's getting murdered. So then they're like, nah, bro, it's just the Joe show. No matter where you go. I had people, dude, I had the Benton motorcycle race team come out with me, and this dude Jake Hilla, the guy that he built out of the Cadillac Cho, and ISO, which was one of their singers, the R&B guy on their side, they were like doing rap songs in intermission. When I came out for my main event, Mike Benton, I was riding a wheelie behind him on his motorcycle in a building in Montgomery. All right, so that's what they would say, the Joe show. I came down here for my first fight in Atlanta to fight at the Coliseum it was my first sanctioned amateur fight. These were all underground, like Alcazar Shriner's Temple, gloves, elbows allowed. My amateur fights, bro, people have no clue. I came here and fought Amir Dodovic at 170 on 3 days' notice for Tony Metcalf at the Battle of the Coliseum. Ken Shamrock came and was the special guest up here in North Georgia in Rome at the Coliseum. And Rome, Georgia, not that Rome Coliseum, but I won that fight. Dude, I was picking him up. I almost got disqualified for slamming him. I'm like, what do you mean you can't slam in amateurs? I've been elbowing people in the face. And that's whenever the Joe Show started, because they made me that song right before I went there called Welcome to the Joe Show. It was a little bit different because it was part one. And then now the one I play now is part two, still made by him, because it developed off like, dude, people would be talking about it as an amateur. I think I was more of a star in Montgomery than I was when I first came to Georgia to start over as the nobody pro, when everybody was popular and I was the Alabama country. They didn't know who I was. You know how it is when back in early thousands. It was, if you were Gracie, you don't go to Roberto's Ramen. You don't go to this gym. It's this gym. And it was all like the underground gym fights. UFC was going through what BKFC was in my early career.
Mhm.
So, yeah, man, it's wild, dude. Reminiscing, thinking about all that stuff and how far it's come is still nuts.
Yeah, it's quite the journey, man. And yeah, the UFC, I remember back then in like the before the UFC and the Gracie gyms and how they would travel, fight each other gym to gym. It's crazy what combat sports, how it's come. I feel like BKFC is following those footsteps, you know what I mean? People just have to
Yeah.
see it, and then it's about to blow because like more people are seeing it, more people are talking about it. The product
Well,
is
and they've
there.
proven it's safer. They've proven it's not as dangerous. It might look bloody, but it's very cosmetic. Other than a couple small broken bones, which in an MMA glove, you have just as much likelihood to break I broke the worst break I ever had was hitting somebody in the forehead from being too comfortable throwing a boxing overhand and hitting somebody right here. Oh my God. I had to have pins in it. It split it like this and instead of in half. I've only broke my hand one time in BKFC, and I went to the doctor 4 days later. I healed pretty fast. And he was like, dude, your bone is like set as good as I can. You don't need to do anything. I didn't put a cast on it. He's like, it's already starting to fuse back together. It was 4 days after the fight. I went home because I wanted to stay and party. And I didn't admit my hand was broken. I was like, I'm going to go home and see. We'll figure it out. And I got home, and yeah, so since then, that was, that was Leonard. Or was that Dustin? It was Leonard that I did that one. It was Dustin the knuckle, but yeah, man. BKFC's given me the ability to have another 5. Look at some of the age of the guys in here fighting. It extends your career because the last thing that goes our power, and as long as our jaws are holding up, I mean, I'm getting better and better as I've aged and progressed through this.
Yeah, I've mentioned that in the past too, how BKFC, you know what I mean? Like some of these older fighters could come in and hold their own against some of these younger fighters when they don't have to worry about, wrestling. The training camps are that much easier. 2 minute rounds, you know what I mean? I feel like it's built around that, and people can have lengthy careers in this sport. Like look at Romero, he's chiseled from fucking stone, but he's 48 years
Yeah,
old.
well, I was gonna say you can teach someone to fight, but you can't teach someone to be a born fighter. Romero is a Jesus loving Greek god, and they'll have myths about what that man has done at his age. But yeah, I feel the same way too, man. I'm in better shape now than I was when I was 37. I mean, like 27, really. I was just a egotistical, wild man with a lot of ego and inability to hit the mats. And now I know what the hell I'm doing, and I still got the caveman. I'm more powerful because I've been able to focus, get better training. The sport has evolved, and yeah, age is just a number. That's all bullshit. It's what you eat, and I don't eat processed stuff. Like I said, when you take care of yourself, and you are what you eat, and the body is the temple, and temple lasts as long as you take care of it.
Yeah, amen. Also, I feel like the BKFC, some of these other, MMA guys train wrestling, they train all these other things. Some guys are just really good athletes too, where bare knuckle, I feel like you have to be a real fighter. You're gonna get punched in the face with a fist. You're either gonna like it. Some people are like immediately like it's not for me. So I feel like that's the difference too, and that
Hey, look what Mike Perry did
age
to
doesn't
Luke
factor into
Rockhold,
that.
bro. Right? Think about that. Luke Rockhold, Mike Perry. Luke said, nope, and he is he is a specimen. Look at Luke. But he needs to get a yacht and commentate and he knows sports. He's smart and he's very talented technically at a lot of things. But when it comes to a monster, he gives into the growl. And you can't give into the growl and be in bare knuckle. You can give into the growl and wrestle, and you can give into the growl, and there's different tough parts. But there's just that one guy that you cut both his legs off, and he has one arm, and he's still like, "Fuck you and your mother."
Yeah,
And you have to be like that to fight bare knuckle, or you're not gonna make it.
100%. And I feel like you are fighting that guy. Like, look at Richmond in his last fight. He didn't want that
Oh
fight
yeah.
to stop. You know what I mean? He was ready to go still. So,
It
I,
breaks your heart, bro. It breaks your heart, and that's why I said I don't want that to happen. Me and Mike Richmond, it's exciting for me because it is that fight, and it's gonna be like that's why I think I said it on my interview yesterday. I was like, please God, just my prayer to God this time is all your will be done, but blind to the cutmen. Make them blind to cuts. Don't let it's like put a veil over our bleeds and just let us go. Me and Mike are the type of guys will tell you if we don't feel good. We'll quit when we die.
yeah, I did see that too, that you said, I don't want this fight decided by some pussy ass cut.
No, man, I hate that, dude. We're real men, and you can't help cuts. And if I'm not gonna lose my eye, let me go. I mean, my wife doesn't love me because I'm pretty. So she loves me because I'm manly, work hard, and get along with her family. So I'll be all right. Let them bleed. Let them go.
Yeah, you got to get along with the family. That's for sure.
Dude. Yeah. Her daddy's a psycho. I'm glad we're friends. You know, I seen what he does to a deer after he kills it. We've been getting along doing it to deer, not each other. So I'm gonna keep that going.
Amen. Family first. Yeah, I was getting into why where Hitman 187 came from, so I'm glad you explained that to me. But also you got a little feature on your own track, Welcome to the Joe Show. You're dropping a few bars yourself. I see some of your Instagram posts, you got the easy in the background. Tell me what's on Hitman 187's playlist.
Dude, I listen to a lot of the underground raps and stuff, but I mean, God, Eminem, Tech Nine,
Tech Nine, baby.
Lucas. I like a lot of battle rap and underground rap too. Old school stuff. Redman, Method Man, Wu Tang Clan. I drank out of a Wu Tang Clan glass for breakfast. I have hot coffee. It is in my Wu Tang mug that I've had. My grandma had it saved. I got it in high school for Christmas in a stocking. My parents were like, dude, I got Crisscross, Bone Thugs, and Harmony. The Easter Bunny brought me Bone Thugs. My dad was like, how do I put this in I come from a Southern Baptist Christian home. My dad in the South, and my mom's from Gary, Indiana. So I grew up on the Temptations and Jackson 5. Gary, Indiana is the home of Mike anyway. So I have a lot of soul and swag and things and music and poetry have always been a part. Rapping and poetry are very much melodically the same thing, and that was part of I think it's part of my 88. I like piecing things together that don't look like anything, and music does that. It can get out frustration. I can be poetic. I got movement and rhythm and swag, and dancing is fighting, and so just being able to do that has always been fun and awesome. And whenever I was broke, I had a duffel bag. I say living homeless. My wife hates that, but I was couch surfing. I didn't have a fucking home. I was trying to go. I was mopping mats, working as a security guard, doing whatever I had to do to become a UFC world champion, a fighting world champion, a whatever world champion that can provide for my family through my talents and the things I could do. And I always wound up in a studio and had friends and that were in Memphis. When I was in Memphis, I'd go to the rap studio. My boy White Chocolate, I rap with these guys called Ace and Lunatic, and they knew Little White. And like, I'm not like personal friends with them, but my network has always been with guys like that, wanting them to walk me out or be on my show. And yeah, I get in the studio and a long time ago, and how that started though is we would smoke, and you couldn't get one if you couldn't make them go, yeah, they would skip you, and it was like a little battle rap verse thing, and I was like, I said something about it was a rap about spaghetti because the guy behind you would give you a word and you had to rap with that word in it. And it's what not Mac Miller, but the one that does all the freestyle raps, the white dude that's real good at
Eminem.
that. Anyway, yeah, so I'd have to get in and do that, and I got real good at it. So I would just the poetry that I was writing and the things that I'd say, I would be able to start spitting the poetry. And yeah, I'd get in the studio and they'd hear me rapping along while they were making my song, and they're like, "Bro, you got to get on your own shit." And I got a bunch of songs out there. I don't know where they're at now, but I probably recorded 30 songs with features and stuff with artists over the last 25 years.
No way. I'm gonna have to check
Song
that
called
out,
White
bro.
Chicks with Beat Camp. That was I got a song in Alabama if y'all get a chance. White Chicks 1 and White Chicks 2 with Beat Camp. I wish I could find them, man. If I do, I'll post it. They were some really good songs.
Yeah, let's go. I'm a big rap fan myself. A lot of those artists are some of my favorite, and I had my breakfast in a Wu-Tang bong this morning, brother. So I'm right there with you.
Go,
I'm right there with you, and I
go.
love that piece. Like next to my wife, that thing's my main squeeze. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
yeah.
can't
Oh
lie.
yeah, yeah. My Wu Tang cup is special, bro. I don't let my wife has. I have a little thing in a spot where it hangs. I wash it out. I don't put it in the dishwasher so it don't bleach the cup, crack the cup. I hand wash it every time, hang it back up. Yeah, that's mine.
Let's go, baby. I don't know if you've seen Keith the Rockstar Richardson though. He's got his fight stuff has like the Wu-Tang symbol
Yep.
upside down.
Oh yeah, I told him I wanted to get one from him. I've known Keith a long time. We fought on Wild Bill Fight Night together for years, bro. Like I've known that guy for 20 years too of my fight career. And yeah, I saw that. And I saw I was like, bro, and I sent him a picture of my Wu Tang glass, and I was like, I need one of your shirts to wear with
Yeah,
this,
those
bro.
are sick. Yeah, shout out
Whenever
to
he
him,
fought
man.
Reggie for the title.
Yeah. Shout out to him. And Wu-Tang for sure. Wu-Tang's for the children. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, okay. All right. So are you still doing any rapping here and there? Or?
So my boy that I was just telling you about, he'd been breeding little bullies and dogs and focused on that. And I was hitting him up for the last like 6 months. I'm like, bro, I hear all this shit that guys are putting out, and he produced his own beats, made his own stuff. Like he's just so like God given and talented at it. I remember one night we were sitting in there. I'm not gonna say what we were doing, but we were shaking up this giant bottle of Sprite, and we made the song called "Shake It Up." Shake it up. Hey, just playing around. And by the time the sun came up and we were still there that next morning in his studio in Montgomery, Alabama, we had 11 songs and I was on 4 songs and I had only rapped other than like chilling with my friends in the studio, hanging out in Memphis and watching them and going with my boy White Chocolate back in the day, Chris Criswell. He still raps, does some Christian stuff at OTG, the finest. My son just did a music video for him, but I just remember how time stopped and how we did all that stuff and waking up and how easy it was for us to do it. And I'm just like, man, that wasn't me. It was him. Like he just could make these suggestions and then change the beat a little bit and engineer this and add something to it. And I was like, bro, we're in here just joking around, having a good time. And he made me, who's never really done this, sound like I've been rapping my whole life on these 4 tracks that I wanted to feature in that night. It was Money on My Mind, Shake It Up, White Chicks One. I can't remember the name of the third song. Jesus, it's been 20 years, 15, 18 years. And but anyway, so I remember like, God, dude, I was telling him, dude, you got to do this again. And in the last week, he's been sending me stuff. He got his whole thing up, his lights, his whole studio going again. He turned like this back bedroom into the studio. He's finna start recording artists. And he, part of it, one of the things I did something for him. And he's actually going to give me 3 brand new beats. And I'm going to go down and stay with him. And we're going to try to come up with 3 new hype songs. So yeah, I'm going to get back in after this fight and I can focus and I'm gonna go actually stay with him because I ain't seen him in a long time. And yeah, I'm gonna do some music for fun, see where it goes, see if I can upload it and get people to chase it.
Let's go. Let's go. So anyway, this is a massive card, obviously. Knucklemania. All these Knucklemania cards have been pretty big. Are there any fights on this card that you're really interested in? Maybe you want to catch him from the locker room or the back. You obviously focus on your own fight, but is there a fight that you want to try to catch over there that you're excited to see?
Dude, all of them, man. I always love when girls fight, so I can't wait to see the Jade fight. Just because any girls fighting, they just beat each other up for 5 rounds most of the time. God, Andre Olowski, I'm fighting on a card with him after watching him growing up, and he's like the unk to me, and I'm an unk still in BKFC, so it's cool to be on the card with him. I definitely don't want to miss it. Yeah, all of them. Tony Loco Soto, we were friends and OGs in the beginning. Every time that dude fights, it's blood and guts and glory. So I would hate to miss that one. Man, Kane Tomlinson's son. Oh my God, the Tomlinson boys. Anytime they fight,
Yeah,
it's blood guts too. So I can't wait. Not the younger brother. Oh my God. I'm so sorry for forgetting your name right now. You know
Kane,
I love
Kane
you.
Thomason Jr.
Yeah. Lil Kane. It is Kane. Yeah, Lil Kane.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it is.
he's
It is.
fighting
Yeah, you're
Johnny
right.
Garbarino.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a
Hashtag
banger
Pat's a
too.
bitch. Yeah, no. Pat Sullivan's a bitch. That's my boys. Y'all just know it. Fuck them.
Yeah, it's brewing up, man. There's many storylines
I'd love to
on
see
this
Senior and
Knucklemania.
Sully fight. Didn't Sully fighting on Knucklemania? So we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, that'd be a good matchup, man. Them Tomlinsons can fucking fight, boy. It's like the Diaz brothers. They all a whole family, boy.
Yeah, that's another one I'm excited for. Fuck, there's so many good ones, right? Arlovsky's got his hands full with Big Ben, though. I don't know. I know he's got a couple wins over him, but it's a different sport and it's a different day. Big Ben's a tough
Yeah, it is,
customer.
man. Yeah. And he's facing a scary. They're both scary, man. But yeah, he's he's
Yeah.
he's in his prime right now. Found a home in BKFC. I'm kind of worried for it, but it's still cool for me to see him, regardless of how it turns out. It's going to be an honor to be on the fight with him and getting to see him still doing what he loves to do. And hey, you never know if you could be 3-0. It's hey, just like I said,
Yeah.
sometimes being the one that they're worried about gives you the most superpower.
Yeah, and like I said too, the age doesn't really mean a lot in the BKFC either. So we haven't seen a lot of Arlovsky, but what we have seen look pretty fucking good, and that's why he's
Yeah,
getting the shot. Oh, time will tell.
he still had Thor's hammer his last fight, so.
Did sure did, buddy. But yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm coming out there. Making the trip from Canada, so I can't wait. Can't wait to see that one live. Hopefully, I catch you out there, brother. Is there
Absolutely.
what do you got? What do you? How do you see this fight going for you? You and Richmond. You think this is going the distance?
I mean, it can. We're either going to knock each other out or I mean, dude, it could be anything. It's either going to go the distance and bloody. It's going to be a doctor stoppage, a KO, or a double knockout. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if we both hit each other and had to wake up for the race to the 10 count. I just, I know it's going to be one of the best fights on the card, and I know it'd be a shame for anybody to miss it. I would love to knock him out, but I'm going to go out there and respect him with no pride and 100% of everything I can do, and just put on the best fucking fight I can. Yeah, it's going. I'm trying to dirt nap him because I don't want the judges to tell me no ever again.
Wait, you got any words for him leading up?
Uh, yeah, love you, bro. Thanks for the opportunity, like you said. But I have been hit by things that are way worse than you, and maybe you think you can put me to sleep, and I just hope that that's promotion, not ego, because I'm different too. My face has never been punched to the point where it wasn't happy, and let's just see. Let's put it on. And by kid, when you called me kid, you know that meant goat, and we're gonna see who's the real goat is. Let's do this.
Let's go. Amen, brother. What about it? Before I let you go, you got any sponsors you want to shout out?
Actually, you know what? I haven't went and looked, but I have a childhood friend. It's a nonprofit for soldiers with PTSD and firefighters, anybody that might face danger and things that could cause violent PTSD's death. And so they do hunts for him in West Tennessee. And I actually, me and his brother were friends growing up, and they called me last night. So I've got them Innovative Aquatics. I'm going to be posting lots of posts this week, sharing other sponsors and things like that. I'm glad everybody, even though this is all last minute, coming on board. I'm just thankful for all of you for always being there and all the ones that are coming on board right now. And yeah, I'm going to make sure I show all them love over the next week. But there's a lot of them coming on board. I couldn't do this without them. So
Let's go. Can't wait to see it, brother. Hitman 187. Welcome to the Joe Show. Don't miss it. Knucklemania 6, baby. Throwing hands. Thank you so much, Joe, for your time. And I hope to catch you out there
absolutely.
live, brother. Maybe I get to get a quick pick with you, brother, because I'm an old school fan
Absolutely,
before
brother.
this too. Let's go.
Yeah, I can always tell because whenever we talk, man, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I appreciate the love and support always. Even the question, bringing up the question that wouldn't have went viral too without you guys. You know, noticing us scuffling and capturing those moments and sharing it as a part of something you love, putting us in a spotlight. So I appreciate it too, brother. There is no us without y'all. So yeah, have a blessed day. Hope all your fans tune in, all my fans tune in and check him out at
Oh,
him, and yeah, just show that love, brother.
it's gonna be a war, buddy. Have a blessed day. Thank you again. Knucklemania 6,
See you at
buddy. See you
Knucklemania.
there.
Let's go.
Take
Yes,
care,
sir.
buddy. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.